Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, today we got something special going on. Are you one of those families that don't like beans? Yes, my kids don't like beans, my husband don't like beans, I don't like beans. Beans makes us sick, beans makes us, you have so many stuff going on about beans. Okay, let's just take a quick break on that. Try this recipe out and you will thank me later. In fact, your kids will be begging you to make these beans every day, guys. Let's get started. Alright guys, here I have my cow meat already washed and cut up to the size that I want it to be. So we'll go ahead and season these guys up. Yes. And here I have my seasonings. You can use whatever kind of seasoning you want. I have my paprika. And the next, I have my chicken flavor bouillon. Salt to taste. I have chicken masala. Then I have Italian seasoning, some thyme, parsley, nutmeg. So like I said before, use any seasoning of your choice. Yes, I'll be adding some Scotch bonnet pepper and ginger and garlic. So I also have one large onions. So I'll be using these large onions. I'll go ahead and split them into two parts. So after splitting them into two parts, I'll go ahead and wash one part of it and I'll chop that up. So I will show you guys what I'll be doing with the other parts at the right time. But for now, I'll go ahead and put that on the chopped one inside my little handy blender. Yes, this is very easy for me to use and easy to wash as well. So I add the Scotch bonnet pepper, the ginger, the garlic, and to that I'll go ahead and pour in all my seasonings. I'll go ahead and pour in everything in there together. And I will top that up with a little bit of water to enable the blender to move. Just a little bit. And I'll cover that up. And it's time to blend. Just go ahead and blend that up. That's it. So here comes the meat. So go ahead and pour that over the meat that I already chopped up, washed clean. So go ahead and pour in all the blended mixture in there. And toss this around until they are well combined together. So I'll go ahead and use my excuse me, I'll go ahead and use my plastic wrap and wrap this up very well. Then I'll set this aside. Once they are well properly wrapped up, I'll set this in my fridge to marinate, so have them marinate for like 30 minutes. So after the marinating, look at that, it's looking so nice. All the seasoning has soaked in properly. Yes, so it's very important that you do this part. If you have extra time, you can even leave them longer in your fridge. The longer it stays, the better it will be. So at this point, I'll go ahead and lay them out in my little baking rack. So once every single thing is well laid out this way, as you can see, they're looking nice. So any extra sauce that is left, any seasoning that is left in that bowl, I just have to like scrub them out and put on the meat. So I'll go ahead and set this in my oven to bake. Yes, we'll have to bake these guys up. So while the meat is baking, let's proceed. So today I'll be using brown beans. Yes, I'll be using brown beans for my cooking. So you can use whatever kind of beans you have, like the black eye beans. You can use that if that's what you have available. So I'm trying to use my hand to measure to see. Like I have about 3 cups here. You know, we African women, we measure with our eyes, you know. So after washing them, I'll go ahead and set them on my stove to start cooking. So while it's cooking, so it has been cooking for about roughly 8 minutes or thereabout. So this part is important if your family has like problem of having like gassy problem after eating beans or stomach upset after eating beans. You have to do this part. This step is very important. After your beans has cooked for about 10 minutes, go ahead and rinse the water off. Yes, if not only for the purpose of the stomach upset, it's also important because sometimes when they preserve all these beans, they use some kind of harsh, like hard chemicals to preserve them. So it's important that you wash your beans very well. All right, guys, so let that cook while we proceed to the next step. So here I have my peppers. I have the red, green, orange, and whatever color you can see there. So that's what I have, and I'll be using I'll be adding some tomatoes as well. And these tomatoes are tomatoes that I just got from my farm. So I don't know if you guys have seen the video. Oh, okay, maybe I haven't posted it yet, so you have to stay tuned for this video. So these are the tomatoes I got from my farm. Yes, my garden to be precise. So they are really, I got a whole bunch of tomatoes from my garden. Look at that. Very, very massive, big tomatoes that I got. So look at that. So if you want to see the full video of these tomatoes, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you know whenever I post it. So I don't think I've posted it yet. Yes, I've been so busy lately, so I haven't posted this video. So if you want to see that, subscribe to my channel and put the notification bell on so you know whenever I post any video, guys. So let's go back to the kitchen. Yes, so for my garden, I'll be using these tomatoes. So these ones are like the funny looking ones, so I decided to use those ones first. Yes, so I decided to use these funny ones. I'll go ahead and cut off all those things that I don't like, cut them off and chop up the remaining ones, and we'll be back. Here we are. So all my tomatoes have been chopped. These tomatoes tasted so juicy and amazing. I was eating these tomatoes so bad, guys. You can't imagine how good these tomatoes tasted. All right, guys, so I'll go ahead and blend in everything together. After blending them up, so go ahead and strain them, because you don't want to, like, if you start boiling this up, they will take a longer time for you to cook them dry. So I don't want to like start cooking for so long. So what I did was just to like use my strainer to like get the excess water out, but don't be too fast to throw those water away because we're going to be using them. So I will show you what we'll do next. So I'll go ahead and place this in the stove just to have them dry a little bit more. So this is the beans. So the beans has been cooking for a while. It's about, like, let me say like 80% cooked right now. It's not all the way cooked, about 80%. So the water that I got from the tomatoes and the pepper blend, go ahead and pour that inside the beans for it to continue cooking. Yes, you don't want to waste those juiciness off. You don't want to just throw them away. So when I add that in the beans, I cover the beans up again to keep cooking. So after about 10 more minutes, the beans is completely cooked. but not dry. You don't want your beans to be dry, so it's completely cooked at this point. So go ahead and set that aside off from the heat. And this is the rest of my ingredients. I have my oil, my crayfish, my stock cube, my Scotch bonnet pepper, and the remaining half of the onions. Yes, so go ahead and start frying. It's time to fry. Yeah, so I add the palm oil in a skillet pan. You don't want to fry your oil. No, once it's warm, once it comes to a warm, like, yeah, once it's warm enough, just go ahead and add my onions. So just let the onions cook for like 30 seconds. Then I'll bring in my dried tomatoes and the peppers. So just go ahead and scoop that in and stir that up. So once it's well combined, I'll add my stock cube, Scotch bonnet pepper, and crayfish. So we'll just stir everything up together again. And I'll go ahead and use the same pot I used to dry the tomatoes. Just add a little water, rinse that up, and pour that back inside the pot. And I'll cover this up to cook while I get the meat ready. So the meat is completely dried right now. I think I already ate like about 2 of it already. So I'll get some of them out, chop them up pretty good in a little size. Yeah, so when you're eating the beans, you actually be taking a bite of those meat without even noticing it. So after chopping them up, I'll go ahead and add them back inside the pot. Just like that. Look at that, it's looking amazing. So I'll go ahead and cover the pot again and let everything simmer together, because the spice from the meat will release into the sauce, and the sauce as well will go inside the meat. Look at that vapor that's covered up my camera. Yes, okay, it has cleared up right now. You can see, looking so nice. So the sauce seems to be a lot, so I decided to take out some to enjoy my white yam. Yes. I just made white yam, so I'll be enjoying that white yam with this spicy, delicious sauce. So I'll go ahead and scoop in my beans at this point. So once I'm done scooping in all the beans, I'll go ahead and mix that up very well. So at this point, it's looking very dried. So I added like about a 1/4 cup of water. So that should be about 5 tablespoons of water, just to loosen it up. I don't like my beans being very thick, no, so I like it to be loose. Yes, so after adding that up, you have to give it a taste to make sure you have everything the way it should. So at this point, I think I needed some salt, because I haven't added any salt at all apart from the one I used to for the meat. Yes, I think I added some salt for the meat. Yeah, so I added some salt, because you don't want to add too much salt to your food. So after I added the salt, I let everything cook again for 2 to 3 minutes, and the beans is ready. So I have to give it another taste, and at this point everything is perfect. Yes, very perfect. The beans is ready. I'll go ahead and set that aside. So I set it aside to cool off for like about 5 minutes, and this is what it looks like. So delicious, guys. I cannot tell you guys how much delicious these beans came out to be. Whenever I tell my kids that we're having beans for lunch or for dinner, you will see them, they'll start negotiating on can I have some peanut butter? Can I have some this? You know, they were ready to do anything not to have beans. But believe me, guys, after I made these beans, my daughter was like asking, can we make more? Can I have more? She had like, oh my god, I was so shocked the way she was enjoying these beans, guys. This looks so amazing. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you give it a try, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Stay safe and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.